You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
Here is Wesche, final throw into her work. That's huge as well. We wait, we watch, but twice now she's responded, Maddi Wesche, or has she? No is the answer. 19.68. On first look, it looked big, but not big enough. Maddi Wesche wins silver in the women's shot put, and she is New Zealand's new shot put queen on the podium. Shot, Maddi.
Yeah, silver for Maddi Wesche in the shot put this morning. She led up until round 5 when the eventual gold medalist out of Germany threw further than her. She pulled out the personal best, and then it was the German athlete again who threw 20 metres. Maddi Wesche not quite able to reach that mark, but silver it is, and a new personal best. Let's bring in Maddi Wesche. How are you feeling? A silver, a PB, with a few hours of reflection?
I'm pretty happy. You know, I like this feeling. Throwing a PB at the Olympics and getting a silver medal, though I would have liked a gold. Yeah, these are the moments. These are the reasons why I do the sport, being in such high and intense moments and such a competitive field. And in Paris at the Olympics, yeah, it's a bit surreal right now.
Did you think you'd won it with your 19.86?
I didn't. You know, going into this predictions with that women's shot was going to be won with the 20 metres, so I knew that someone was going to pop something big, and Yemi was the one to do it, and unfortunately I couldn't pull through in the end.
But what an incredible, it was the fifth round, wasn't it? She threw it out there and said, hey, laid down the challenge for you. You pulled out the big 19.86. Well, can you just reflect on that moment for us?
I had a bit of nerves going into that fifth throw, knowing that, you know, I'd kind of been pipped and I needed to get my spot back. And yeah, it's kind of muscle memory took over and training worked, and yeah, and here we are.
I was going to ask about that. How much did you rely on your prep and trust your processes today?
100%. The whole way through was me trusting the process. My team worked so hard to get me on this big stage and help me achieve some pretty big dreams. And yeah, it was all trust the process, and training had been going well, and qualifiers were to get the big Q was good confidence. So yeah, this is everything is prep work.
Yeah, smashing out the 19.25 to automatically qualify. How pleased were you to be able to do that yesterday?
Super happy to be able to get the big Q in qualifications. It's my first big Q. Usually I'm down at the bottom of the ranks, and then in the finals I'm kind of stuck in the lower part of top 8, and so to be amongst the top girls in such a competitive time in women's shot put, yeah, super chuffed.
You always look so relaxed, Maddi. Is that part of your secret?
I think so. I think it's just a part of who I am. I try not to take things too seriously, and at the end of the day, this is just sport, and there's a lot of things that are bigger than this. So to be able to do my passion and to travel the world, yeah, can't be too stressed and can't be too big-headed about anything.
Well, I mean, the other part is that you encourage the other throwers as well. I don't think I've ever seen that. You're geeing up those who are who you're throwing against. It's an incredible thing that you do.
We were all doing it. It wasn't just me, and that's at every single competition. We're all cheering for each other. You do your best, and then you can beat the best, and then it's a great competition. And that's why women's shot put at the moment is so competitive. And not only are they amazing people, but they make the infield so much more enjoyable when we can both banter and compete as strong, powerful women.
Where do you assess where shot put is right now? Are we looking at some 21s, 22s in the not too distant future?
Yeah, I reckon we've got so many women on the cusp of 21 metres, and once you're at 21, then you're 22, and then the world records in the arena. So why not?
Why not? And no lucky sunglasses needed today. It was a bit wet at the start. Was that challenging?
In the first throw, it was a little bit. I didn't grab my footing as I'd like to, but living in Auckland and training at Waitac, there's weather changes within 5 minutes. So I was prepared for the wet and the slippery circle, so it wasn't that much of a hassle or a mind kind of block. I just trusted the process again and knew what I needed to do.
And just to finish, I read that you've got basically, well, I don't know if it's all your family, but you had to hire a lot of dog sitters back here to look after all your dogs because everybody was going to be in Paris. Did you feel your family support today?
I did. I saw my sisters in the front row, and I was laughing and cheering with them along with the whole competition. So to be able to see them in the stands and for them to be here is huge. And I wouldn't be able to do this without my team. And I definitely miss my dogs, and I've still got a few more comps to go. I am excited to go home and see my bulldog.
Well, you've added superbly to the tremendous legacy in shot put for New Zealand, Maddie. Everyone back here was just enthralled watching you throw at breakfast time, our time. Congratulations. Thank you so much for taking the time for a chat.
Thank you.
Thanks, Maddie. Madison-Lee Wesche there, a new star of shot put. I was enthralled watching that this morning, and just the way that she carries herself, Maddi Wesche. She's just so relaxed, so Kiwi. I love it, and maybe that is part of the secret. That if you do get too intense and you start really, tying yourself up in knots, maybe that's where things all fall apart. That certainly didn't look to be the case with Maddi Wesche this morning. Delighted to see her pick up a medal and continue the amazing record that Dame Valerie Adams had. Medals in 2008, 2012, 2016 and in 2021, and now Maddi Wesche as well. So somebody said earlier in the week to me, when Tom Walsh and Jack O'Gill didn't get on the podium in the men's shot put, it's going to be the first Olympics for a while. We haven't had somebody on the shot put podium. I said, hey, don't forget about Maddi Wesche. Am I going to say that now? Hindsight's a wonderful thing. But, man, how good.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.